We've been practicing factoring quadratic equations, and it is a skill that you get better at the more you practice. But I will tell you that it can get frustrating when you're trying to find two solutions that you can put into your factors, and you just can't come up with something that works. Well, there's a little hint, because in some cases it's not possible. So remember our discriminant, that's part of our quadratic formula. It's just the part that says b squared minus 4ac. If that part is a perfect square, it can be factored. But if it's not a perfect square, it cannot be factored. So as you're moving along with your work with quadratics, if you're going to try to factor something, you might want to take a few seconds to do the discriminant. That's going to tell you whether you're not wasting your time and it can be factored, or don't even bother. You're going to have to use another method for solving the equation, like maybe the quadratic formula. So let's look at this example. It just says tell whether the trinomial can be factored. So let's use b squared minus 4ac. That's our discriminant. Remember, this is ax squared, because this is in standard form, plus bx plus c. So our b is 6, so we go 6 squared, minus 4 times our a, which is 1, times our c, which remember is a negative 7. When you type that into your calculator, you get 64. Is 64 a perfect square? Yes, it is. 8 times 8, or negative 8 times 8, negative 8 is 64. That means this can be factored. Now, it doesn't say to factor it, but if you wanted to see real quick, this number here is negative, so it means I have to multiply two numbers to give me a negative 7. Well, one has to be positive, one has to be negative, and the only way to get 7 is to have a 1 and a 7. Since this is positive, I'm going to put my plus sign by my 7 and my minus sign next to the 1. X times x is 6 squared. X times 7 is 7x. Negative 1 times x is a negative 1x. Those add to give us 6x. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. You didn't say to do this in the directions, but can this be factored? Yes, it can. Why can it be factored? Because 64 is a perfect square. Let's look at another example. This is tell whether the trinomial can be factored. Using your discriminant, again we have 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 5, and I type that into my calculator, I get 56. Is 56 a perfect square? The answer is no. So can this be factored? No, it can't. That's going to save you a lot of time, because if you didn't do that, you're saying, all right, what two things can I multiply to give me negative 5? Well, the only way I can get 5 is negative 1 and 5. Now, how can I put a minus and a plus sign to give me 6? I can't think of any way. Now, if this was a positive 5, that's different. I could put a plus sign in both of these, and that would give me 6, but it's not. So, can this be factored? No. The reason? Because it's not a perfect square. Using the discriminant can save you a lot of time when trying to factor quadratic equations.